Britt gets sloppy drunk and causes problems. Dante has yet another reason to blame Gio for Rocco's problems, and Kai and Trina decide to play detectives. Gio and Emma show up at Sunny's with a dozen or so dogs they rescued from Dalton's second secret lab. Emma explains the shelters are closed and they had nowhere else to go. How about the Quartermains with all their grounds, stables, etc.? An irate Rick points out that Rocco is currently facing felony charges, and Emma and Gio just made him an accomplice to every law they just broke. Rocco points out that if Dalton left town and if nobody saw Emma and Gio, they could be in the clear. That's when Dante aka the male Lulu arrives. He deduces these are Dalton's dogs, and Gio brought his brother into another crime. Rocco explains he was not involved in this, and Gio confirms it. Dante says everyone here is a party to this crime, given there are stolen goods here, and asks how selfish Gio is. Sunny yells, "Dante, enough." He tells his son to stop thinking like a cop and think like a father. Rick tries to use the Good Samaritan law as a defense, allowing people to break into buildings or cars to save individuals or animals in danger. Emma claims they were walking home from the brown dog when they heard the dogs in a random building and worked to save them. Sunny and Dante talk privately later, with Dante ranting that Gio hasn't learned from any of his mistakes. Sunny says, "This was a victimless crime. Dalton skipped town, and those dogs were being abused." Dante tells his dad about the argument he and Rocco got into, and that Rocco called him out for abandoning him and his mom. Still, he wants his son to stay away from Gio. Sunny says keeping the boys apart isn't the answer, and he has two sons who both need their dad at home. Alexis tells Molly and Christina that she hated missing Thanksgiving with them and being forced to attend Drew and Willow's nauseating wedding, but it was worth it to have Scout here with them for the night. Alexis also notes that Scout and Willow generally like one another, which is another win. Later, Molly searches for her phone. Christina finds it and says she has a text from Cody to meet him at the bar. Christina and Alexis both encourage her to go out and have some fun. Kai brings Trina back to her place, where she cries about finding out her mom is pregnant, seeing her dad kissing Jordan, and then his being taken in for questioning. This is just the worst Thanksgiving ever. She feels helpless, and there must be something she can do. Kai suggests they find out who the shooter really is. Trina admits she might not want to know who did it, as it looks like one of her parents did. At the Savoy, Curtis tells Jordan he was not alone here that night, as he told Nathan, but was with Selena Wu. Curtis confesses he wanted Selena to kill Drew, even offering her $1 million. Jordan can't believe he told her this, as he's now made her an accomplice. Jordan says she knows him, and she can't believe he'd have Drew shot in cold blood. Curtis admits Selena agreed to do the job, but he couldn't go through with it and didn't transfer the money. He didn't want Selena to have that power over him. He also couldn't live with murder on his conscience, and if he were caught, it would destroy his family. Spinelli sits alone at a table at the Brown Dog, and Jason and Britt arrived separately. Britt heads to the bar, and Jason sits at a table with Spinelli. Spinelli just got back from seeing Maxie with the kids, Mac and Felicia. He admits it kills him seeing Maxie in her state, and he fears Maxie will never wake up, or they will lose her. Jason says he needs to focus on the third option, that Maxie will wake up. At the bar, Cody runs into Britt, and they hug and exchange playful flirtations. They catch up with one another, and Britt gets intoxicated along the way, which Jason takes note of from his seat. Back at their table, Spinelli thanks Jason for the talk. He must head home, and he tells Jason he knows he's been looking over at Britt and Cody. He notes Cody is a good man and good with James. Spinelli heads out. Meanwhile, Cody puts on the song he and Molly danced to, and a drunk Britt insists he dance with her. He reluctantly agrees, only because she throws the parachute pool incident in his face. They dance just as a dolled-up Molly walks in. She sees Britt basically falling all over Cody. Britt then pulls him into a kiss, causing Molly to run out. Cody breaks free, and Britt accuses him of always being attracted to her. Cody says someone else is in the picture now, someone who clearly isn't coming. He walks away. Britt heads to the bar to order more booze, but Jason intervenes and suggests she get a water to go. Back at Alexis, The lawyer tells Christina how thankful she is that their family has been able to heal after losing Sam and the baby. At Laura's, Jen Sidwell drops by, with Laura expecting him to turn up sooner or later. She tries to slam the door on him, but he threatens to call the police. She lets him in, and he congratulates her on her victory. Laura asks what he wants. Sidwell asks what the public would think if they knew she killed Professor Dalton to protect her grandson. She says she did nothing of the sort, prompting Sidwell to show her a photo of herself and the dead Dalton in her trunk. Laura immediately says it's fake and probably AI, but Jen says the police can authenticate it. Laura warns Sidwell she's faced worse than him, and none of those individuals are around any longer. Sidwell produces another photo of Sunny coming to help her. He says they both had motive to want Dalton dead, and her incriminating Sunny was a real gift. Sidwell says as long as she cooperates, nobody has to know of this. Laura tells him to spit it out. What does he want? He tells her that she'll be working for him, and if she does what he wants, she'll remain in office and out of prison. There is a knock at the door, and Laura tells him to ignore it. He refuses, opens the door, and Ezra walks in. Ezra asks what he missed. Sidwell explains to Laura that Ezra will be his intermediary between them. Laura asks if she should resign, and he can install Ezra as the mayor. Sidwell refuses. Port Charles doesn't want Ezra, and Laura gets things done. He asks Laura if they have a deal. Laura orders Sidwell and Ezra to leave her place. He says he is confident she'll come to her senses. Ace begins crying, and Sidwell recalls telling Laura that everyone has a price and can be bought, and he just discovered hers. Sidwell and Ezra leave, and Laura breaks down. At the Savoy, Jordan asks Curtis what he did between the hour before he met her at the bar and left here. He says he had to go to Aurora to cancel the money transfer. She kisses him and says she believes him. He is a good man, and he can count on her. As she embraces him, Curtis has an emotionless expression. Did Curtis, Mr. Honesty, lie to Jordan's face? At Trina's, Kai asks if her parents would let Willow or someone else take the fall for what they did, and she knows they wouldn't. She thanks him for making her feel better, so she agrees they need to find the shooter and clear her parents. Maybe Junior Agent Joss Jacks can help. At Sunny's, Dante admits to his dad that he doesn't want to lose Gio or Rocco. Sunny knows he'll figure it out. Gio, Emma, Rocco, and Rick return after settling the dogs in. Rocco makes his dad an offer, look the other way regarding tonight, and he'll go home with him. Dante silently agrees. Rocco hugs everyone and follows his dad out. Dante and Gio give one another a look before Dante departs. Sunny says to Gio, Rocco did that for you, that's what good brothers do. He and Rick exchange looks. Molly returns home in a mood, and Christina asks if Cody wasn't there. Molly says he was and stomps to her room. Cody sits alone at the bar, drinking, and sees that Molly hasn't responded to his text. Meanwhile, Jason accuses Britt of putting on a show with Cody to get a reaction, and he says he'll take her home. Britt says if he has a problem with someone kissing her, then maybe he should kiss her. She gets in his face and dares him to kiss her.